Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to learn JavaScript. So what can JavaScript actually do? If you want to make your website dynamic and fully functioning, then you should use JavaScript. So I am going ahead and creating a file, HTML file actually, and I will name it index. So you can see Python has already generated some code for me, and I will add here two p tags, two paragraph tags. That means hello world, and I will create another paragraph tag, and in it I will write some more text. Please subscribe the channel. And after writing this, then I will go to my website. You can see it's showing me some text. Hello world, please subscribe the channel. This text is same as the one that I wrote in p tags. So let's say I have a button, and in the button I will write some text like click me. You can see click me is showing here. But when I will click this button, nothing will happen. Let's say when I will click this button, I want the text of this paragraph tag to change. So I can apply some JavaScript to it. To write JavaScript code, I declare script tag. And inside these tags, I can write JavaScript code. So we are going to create a function, and when we click the button, we are going to call that function. In the function, I am going to write everything which is needed to tag, change the text of this tag. To declare functions in JavaScript, we write something like function. This is a keyword. And after function, you have to declare the function name. Let's say change text and parenthesis. These are for the arguments, but in our case, we don't want any arguments. So we can leave this blank. And after this parenthesis, curly brackets. So in the curly brackets, I am going to write what the function does when called. For now, I will write a console.log. Hello world. And to call this function on my button click, I will add here an attribute of onClick, and in the attribute I will call my change text function. To call this function, I will basically copy this code and paste it here. This means whenever I will click the button, it will call this function, and this function will apply this code. And when I click on this button, first let me open my console here. And when I will click this button, hello world, you can see again click hello world 2 times, again click hello world 3 times. So you got the idea. When we are clicking, we are getting hello world in our console. So this is what I want. Now I can change this code here to something which will actually change the text of this P. Before doing that, let me show you something more. If I write here document dot get element, by ID, document dot get element by ID, and inside the parenthesis I will write the ID which the tag possesses. I will declare here an ID. ID will be p underscore tag. You can name it anything, but I will name it p tag. So I can use this ID attribute to access this element, and then I can use the inner HTML to grab all the HTML code that I've written between these two tags. So let me show you how. Here I will write the same ID I created. And this will get the ID and this will get the element using this ID. Let's see what happens. So when I go to my console and click this button, you can see the same code is there which I used here. So it's getting the element, and to access the text inside these element, I can use the inner HTML attribute dot inner HTML. And now if I again click, you can see hello world is being shown. If I change the text of this hello world to something like hello universe, and now when I will click this, hello universe is being shown. That means whatever I can write here, and this code will grab that text and show it in my console. But if I change this ID to something like AP tag, then this will not work. You can see error is being shown because it's going here document dot get element by ID, and it will search it, and it is searching for ID p tag, but there is no element which has this ID, so it will basically throw error. That's why we are getting error in the console here. Now let me change this to p tag so that it will work. Hello universe. So besides printing this, I can actually use this. Let me remove the console.log. This is actually a variable, and I can use this and change the inner HTML to something like hello guys, because this is basically a variable and we are accessing that variable and then changing the inner HTML attribute of it. So this should work according to me. And when I will click this, let's minimize the console, and when I will click on this, hello guys, you can see the text is being changed to hello guys. So how did this actually work? When I am clicking on the button, it is calling this function change text, and in the function change text I am saying that get element by ID p tag. It will get this element and it will change the inner HTML. That means it will change this text to hello guys, and make sure to add semicolon after JavaScript line. Not only we can change the inner HTML, we can actually change the color of it too. We can actually write here style.color. This is another attribute. We can change this to something like red. Now when I'm clicking on this again, the color is being changed. But let's say when I'm clicking on this again, I want the red color to again change into black color. So how exactly are we going to do this? we are going to add some if else condition. We will say that if color equals to blue, then we will change the color to red. If the color is red, then we will change to black. So this means here I will write an if else condition. In JavaScript, we can write if else condition like this. If document, if this variable is blue color, oh sorry, black color, then only we are going to change it. So inside the curly brackets, I am going to write document.get element by id p tag dot style dot color will be red, and like this we can copy this code and paste it here and remove this condition, because actually we are not going to use if condition, we are writing here else. That means if color is not black, if color is red, then we are going to again change it to black. When I'm refreshing and now clicking on the button, it's showing some error. But can you guess why it's showing some error? Because here we are writing double time equals to, and this is for checking only, not for assigning variable. So I will change this to 1 equals to sign. And now it should work. Okay, here I am also writing double time equals to. Sorry for that. And now I will, when click, you can see it's turning red and again black. Again turning red, again black. So this is exactly what we want. There are many more things you can do in JavaScript. We can also alert something. We can say alert you pressed the button, and when I will click this button, it's saying you press the button. Let me add E here, and now when I will click, you press the button is being alerted to me. So there are many things you can do with JavaScript. But sometimes when we write JavaScript code inside HTML file, it gets messy. So to tackle this thing, we can create another file and we can name it script.js, and we can grab this code here and paste it here, and now we can say like remove this closing tag, and we can say script src equals to, this means it will import the script tag, this means it will import the file which we are going to mention in the src attribute. So here I will mention script.js, and it should perfectly work, nothing should change. It's showing error because I accidentally named this file scipt.js. So here I will rename this file. I will say script.js, and now my code will perfectly work. As you can see, nothing is changed. But this is a good way of displaying JavaScript like this, because in our case there are only 13 lines, but sometimes HTML can go up to 100, 200 lines. In that case, we don't write JavaScript here, we write JavaScript in another file. using script.js. So that's it from this video. If you like the video, subscribe the channel and click the like button. Bye bye.